All right, Steeler fans, it's the second half of the show on Wednesday, and that means it is time to update our DEFCON levels. And this is going to always be fun. It's always entertaining. We are going to answer some questions in the mailbag. Let's get started with DEFCON levels. In case you're first time watching or listening, it's simple. All you have to do is know that 1 is bad, 5 is good. 5 is actually great. 1 is actually really, really bad. So there's your scale. Quarterback. I've got quarterback going down 1. I had it as a 3. It goes down to a 2. It's not Aaron Rodgers' fault. It's the fact that Mason Rudolph, I just didn't feel like his play was up to snuff. I was hoping for a really good performance from him. We've seen him do that before, but no, it goes down to a 2. Will it go up? We'll see. Now let's go to running back. I still really like the running back room. Why would I ever dock them points in terms of running backs? Think about it. Kenneth Gainwell has proven to be a really great tool and a really good asset for the Steelers. Jaylen Warren, I like what we've seen in small sample size with Caleb Johnson. Like, why would I do that? No, I'm not. Running back's a 4 and it stays a 4. Now, wide receivers and tight ends, it was a 2 last week and it stays a 2. DK Metcalf is banged up. Maybe some people will say Marquez Valdez-Scantling will get promoted because DK Metcalf and Ben Skowronek are banged up. Maybe, but is that going to move the needle? I got to say that I'm a little skeptical that it will at all. Let's go to offensive line. Losing Broderick Jones, and I know Broderick Jones has been kind of the punching bag of the fan base for the offensive line for a while. He's been playing better. Like if you take a look, and I'm not talking PFF scores, just watch. He's been playing better. And so for him, offensive line, I'm not going to dock it because he's out this week. I think it's a 3 and it stays a 3. I've been happy with the Steelers' offensive line. I'm not going to lie. I've been pleasantly surprised by a very young group. Now we go to the defensive side of the ball. Defensive backs go down 1 from a 3 to a 2. Joey Porter Jr. gets hurt every game. I understand that. And if there's a silver lining here, if Joey Porter's dealing with a hip flexor, yeah, you got Darius Slay, Brandon Eccles is there, but maybe this is Asante Samuel Jr.'s time. I don't know. I don't think it can get worse. I know it's not all players. The scheme is bad at times. So I've got to go in from a 3 to a 2. Inside linebacker, they're a 4. They did a good job stopping the run against the Bears. Not much to complain about in that regard. Outside linebacker, you just want to see more push. You want to see more pressure. They had 1 quarterback hit last week. 1, and that was the sack of Caleb Williams in the end zone that ended in a Nick Herbig touchdown. You just want to see more from this group. And maybe is Alex Highsmith going to really move the needle all that much? I don't know. It was a 4. It goes down to a 3. So now the outside linebacker is a 3. Now, defensive line, they lose 1 as well. Derek Hartman is going to be out. And so you're looking at that. Here's the thing of why it was a 3 and it goes to a 2, in my opinion. You were hoping to see this pressure come from the interior, forcing Caleb Williams to have to go into those edge rushers, Nick Herbig, even Jack Sawyer, obviously TJ Watt. You weren't seeing it. Cam Hayward, maybe it's his ankle. I don't know. He just doesn't look good out there. It doesn't not effective. I get it. Father Time remains undefeated. But the defensive line could be better. Losing Derek Harmon's not going to help. It goes from a 3 to a 2. Special teams goes down 1. It was a 4 and it goes to a 3. Corliss Waitman did not have a good day. When I recorded the podcast, and I forgot to mention Corliss Waitman on the loser list. If you read the article on the website, steelcurtainnetwork.com, there were 9 losers, whereas there were 8 in the podcast. That was because I just forgot him. He was supposed to be there. I thought I had it down. It didn't. And so for me, I've got special teams going down to a 3 just because really Corliss Waitman's punting was just not up to snuff. And then lastly, the fan DEFCON, it depends on who you talk to. There's fans out there that are just ready to just throw in the towel. They're done. They're never going to be any good. And honestly, I just have it moving down 1 to a 2. I have it moving from a 3 to a 2. Some would say that that's not accurate, but I'm going to stick to it, that the fan DEFCON level goes down to a 2. Could go further. Trust me. All right, so let's dive into the mailbag. Not a lot of questions this week. I think a lot of fans are fed up and or they're getting ready for the holiday. So in the United States, we have Thanksgiving coming up this week. Let's start off. Jeff Coons, our buddy from up north. He said, greetings from Not Mad Canada. With all the doom and gloom on Steelers social media these days, can you remind me one thing the team does well? All I can think of are deficiencies. I'm going to give you a bright spot on this team, Jeff, and that is the offensive line. I just talked about it. When you consider, when was the last time anyone said anything in a negative connotation about a guy named Zach Frazier? I can't think of one. How about Mason McCormick, 4th-round draft pick, second-year guy? Has anyone said anything blatantly bad about him? No. Troy Fautanu is getting glowing reviews, and Broderick Jones has been improving, and Isaac Seumalo is like that steadying force along the line. There's your positive. The offensive line, which is so young, is really doing well. Hope you all have a good Thanksgiving up north, even though you don't celebrate it at the same time. All right, Lori, she said, no question today, Jeff. This team sucks. Just wishing you and your family a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for all your hard work. Lori, I hope you and your family enjoy a happy Thanksgiving. Wherever you are, whatever you do, enjoy it. Let's go to James. Just how we could have it much worse than fans and root for the Browns. So he's basically saying he wants to make a point. We could have it worse. He continues. We could also have it much worse in life in general. You're right. For that, I'm thankful for who and what I have. What about you, Jeff? Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. I will say this, James, like the moment that I came to grips with the fact that I'm not going to let a team that I have no control over ruin my day, ruin my week, change my outlook or anything like that. The moment I came to grips with that, and that doesn't make me any less of a fan, mind you. The moment I came to grips with that, something clicked in my brain and it just freed me up. I want the team to win. I want them to do well, but I'm also not going to lose any sleep if they don't, because again, I have no control over it. So I hope you, James, I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving to you and your family for sure. Steelers 419 said, if the Steelers find themselves out of the playoff hunt with a couple games left, do you think the Steelers will see what they have in Will Howard and let him finish out the year? Hopefully this isn't the case, but worth considering. If the Steelers do this, I feel like an injury would have to take place first. So let's say Aaron Rodgers plays on Sunday and he goes out there and he hurts his wrist to the point where he's on IR and basically done for the year. If that's the case and Mason Rudolph is the quarterback and he plays a couple games and the Steelers are out of the playoff picture, they've been eliminated, then I could see them putting Will Howard in. Absolutely, I could. Because you want to know. You want to know what it looks like in an actual game environment. And so that would be and I do believe, in my opinion, an injury would have to happen. And maybe that's also Aaron Rodgers is healthy. Mason Rudolph somehow gets hurt. Who knows? Let's go to Ryan Carter. What's your take on James Harrison's comments? The entire coaching crew gets fired except for Mike Tomlin. I feel this is the only way to satisfy everyone. It would save the Rooney's legacy. It would please the fire people fans, and it would prove Mike Tomlin is who the players say he is. All right, so in case you didn't hear this or see it, James Harrison does a podcast with, it's actually kind of funny, with Joe Hayden. They get James Harrison, this big hulking guy, and little Joe Hayden. And he went off about the game plan, the scheming, the halftime adjustments. This isn't the Steelers' way, blah, blah, blah. And sure, he's entitled to his opinion. I don't think that they're going to fire the majority of the coaching staff. I could see Terrell Austin not being renewed. I could see Pat Meyer being replaced. I could see a lot of changes. The only way that it's going to satisfy everyone that you mentioned, the fire people fans, as you said it, is if Mike Tomlin goes too. And now there's been some really vague, stupid reports out there. Oh, there's a seasoned coach that might be looking to go somewhere else, blah, blah, blah. Like Josina Anderson is someone that's putting out this crap. I don't know. If Mike Tomlin gets traded and they have a new head coach that brings in a new staff and a new philosophy, that is the only way that is going to satisfy those fans, just so you know. Let's go to Tendercat. No negative comments this week, Jeff. It doesn't change anything. Have a great Thanksgiving. You're right, Tendercat. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't mean you can't have those comments. It doesn't mean that you can't ask those questions. But I hope you have a great Thanksgiving too. Let's go to Annie. Hi, Jeff. It's apparent that the Steelers need a wide receiver too after the game on Sunday. Who would you like to see in that role? I hope you and your family have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I really appreciate all these Thanksgiving wishes to my family and to all the Steel Curtain Network staff. I do appreciate it. Annie, they do need a wide receiver too. Who would I like to see in that role? Right now, I would say that if DK Metcalf is healthy and the Steelers view him as a wide receiver one, then number two, in my opinion, should be Roman Wilson. I think he provides more flexibility. He's a more willing blocker. He's a bigger body than Calvin Austin. He might not have the straightaway speed, but he does have the route running that you want. Give him a shot. Is MVS an option? Sure, let's throw him out there. It can't get worse. That's my opinion of the wide receiving crew right now. It can't get worse, so let's see what they can do in-house to make a change. Let's go to Scott. He said, do you think part of the inconsistency of the Steelers' play has a direct correlation of how long Tomlin has been coaching? I feel there's a significant lack of focus on the small details that contribute to greatness. I think that what we've seen is we get the look behind that curtain at Mike Tomlin. You saw it in Hard Knocks last year. When you look behind that curtain, what you see is that Mike Tomlin is a master motivator. Always has been, always will be. But what you're also seeing is that Mike Tomlin has his deficiencies. And one of those deficiencies might be that he just can't get the team to do those small little details that you mentioned well on a consistent basis. Maybe also from a philosophy standpoint, if you go back and listen to the very beginning of this podcast, you heard the quotes from the comments and the little diatribe from Ben Johnson about EPA and how that's where the analytics are going in regards to what leads to success. And it seems like Mike Tomlin is still doing the opposite in regards to what Ben Johnson said, how Ben Johnson was the one that said it used to be turnovers and takeaways. That was the metric. That's not anymore. Sometimes I do feel like Mike Tomlin is still trying to win in the early 2000s, and here we are in 2025. Interesting thoughts. Food for thought. All right, let's finish this up like we always do with Steeler Fan 69. Hello, my friend. Here's his first joke. What has ears but never listens? Teenagers. I like that one. I have some teenagers. I get it. Next, did you hear about the new holiday ballet that target market is plumbers? I'm going to start over. Did you hear about the new holiday ballet that the target market is actually plumbers? It's called the Butt Cracker. I have an immature sense of humor. I'm sorry. And then lastly, can I get a DEFCON level for my jokes? This week, I'm giving you, because you even threw in some holiday jokes, you get a DEFCON level 5. That is the best of the best. Happy Thanksgiving, Steeler Fan 69. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone that is a part of the Steel Curtain Network in some way, shape, or form. I thank you all very much for checking out the podcast. I hope that anyone that might be traveling, do it safely, be smart, don't do anything stupid. If you're out there, I just, it's crazy that the day before Thanksgiving is like the biggest bar night of the year. Don't drink and drive. Simple. Be smart. Do the safe thing. Enjoy your family and friends. Enjoy the football. And stay tuned to Steel Curtain Network. We're going to have everything for you right here. SteelCurtainNetwork.com, completely free. Go give that website a check. SteelCurtainNetwork.com. Also, make sure you check out all of our podcasts right here, not just those that are on YouTube, and also on the podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, search Steel Curtain Network. But that does it for me. We finish these up. I'll be back on Friday with a Coach's Corner with Coach Kevin Smith. Make sure you check us out then. We finish them up. Be safe, be kind, and God bless. Have a great rest of your week. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you. Go Steelers.